feel like a zombie's gonna pop out of the woods or something, start chasing us. What is up, fam? Welcome to another adventure. My name is Omar. Today I have my friend James, the fam. And we are somewhere where you guys have been begging us to come and explore. We are in, well, almost in Centralia, Pennsylvania. If you don't know the history about Centralia, it was the town that inspired the video game Silent Hill. I hope you're ready for this abandoned ghost town adventure. Let's do this. We're in the neighboring town of Centralia. Name of this town's called Ashland. And we picked the best day ever to come and explore. Just a couple days ago, it was 85 degrees out. Now it's cold, we're freezing. I think I'm getting sick. This is kind of what Centralia would have probably looked like when we get there. I know there's some pictures online. This is also a coal mining town. I think till this day, they do coal mining here in Ashland. That behind me is the most savage person on earth. There's like the only house here in what would have been downtown, maybe. And you could see vegetation kind of took over here. Yeah, there's nobody out here. It's just one house. That's probably the one person that lives out here. They were like, we ain't moving. Think about all the people that lost their homes and they had them paid for cash. And that had to have been sad, like losing your inheritance. Maybe you had everything, all your money tied up into your house, and it just, I don't know. They had property insurance back then?
Maybe. Yeah, probably.
I could imagine insurance taking a major loss too.
Yeah, why would you have insurance in the middle of the country? Like, you wouldn't think anything's gonna happen. Like,
low risk.
There's not earthquake, there's not tornado. I don't think there's much tornadoes here. There's not hurricanes.
They have tornadoes out here. I don't know. I think we kind of spooked somebody though. They're like pulling out of their driveway now. Maybe they're gonna chase us with a shotgun. I say we go. I've never seen anything like this. We're in Centralia, and I mean, you could see there's like roads everywhere, and you can see how vegetation like took it over. Now we're coming across, I think this is called Graffiti Highway, where the entire streets are all covered in graffiti. But I mean, there's tons of roads. It's not just one road. See, there would have been houses out here, businesses. I don't know, I feel like a zombie's gonna pop out of the woods or something, start chasing us. It's like some Walking Dead stuff. They should actually film Walking Dead out here. I mean, you can see a couple of cars here and there, but it's just empty streets. They tore a lot of the houses down. They say that there are a few people that still live out here. I haven't seen anything yet. Centralia is one of the only towns where there is more graves than people living. In other words, there's a lot more dead people here than people that are alive. Thought that was kind of interesting. It's an old intersection. It's a pretty big area, actually. I mean, you could still see driveways too, like old driveways and old sidewalks. Like that's an old driveway right there. Wow, this is sad. Now think about all the people that came here from different countries to start a new life, and wow, something like this happened and drove them out, especially people that were in the coal mining business. They're probably making a lot of money. This is crazy. It's over here. Guess I have to go on this side. haven't seen any structures.
There's no structures.
Yeah, they tore them all down because the ground was getting so hot. There's one of Centralia's cemeteries right there. We're gonna go scope that out in a little bit. We're trying to find what's called Graffiti Highway. One thing's certain about Centralia, you gotta be really careful. You might fall into a hole and get burned up. I mean, that's what I've heard. There's lots of stories on what caused this fire, and one of the popular ones is they were burning trash down in the coal mines, and that's when the fire started to spread. Now, it's not the coal that's on fire because coal needs oxygen to burn, but it's the rocks, and it's still burning till this day. Now, the reason why they haven't been able to put these fires out is because there's no point. If you start digging through the ground and start trying to put the fire out, oxygen's gonna get down there into the coal, and the fire's just gonna keep spreading, and it's probably gonna ruin some of the neighboring towns here. There's a spray paint can right there. Now, another story that I heard, and this is where things get a little weird and maybe the haunted stories come into play, is that they would burn witches. While they were burning these witches, the coal mines started fire. Now, that's something that I heard, in fact, here locally. Now, most of this town has been abandoned since the 1980s. I know that seems like a long time for some of you guys, but I mean, it's really not that long. Coal fires started in the 1960s. Whoa. Okay, this is Graffiti Highway, or the start of it. Check it out. Now, they say that you could actually touch certain parts of the roads and it's hot. Now, the way this started was there was a gas station owner, you know, because you may be wondering, they kept this like on the hush for a hot minute about these coal fires. Someone had to have known about the coal fires, but they were trying to hide something. I don't know. That's my opinion. Maybe not. Maybe they just didn't know. Maybe they started and they didn't know. But anyways, what happened was this gas station owner was checking his wells, his gas wells, and he noticed that the tanks were really, really hot. So he put some temperature gauges down there, and to his surprise, it was 172 degrees. Now, that's really, really hot. And then they started doing some investigations, and they figured out that most of the town was on fire. The soil was on fire. And people's foundations, I mean, you got to think, if you had a basement, for those of you who have basements, you go down there to cool off, especially in the summertime. You ain't going to be cooling off in one of these basements, though. Now, being that it's a little colder outside, we might see steam coming from the ground. I wish I had an umbrella today. Wow, believe it or not. Maybe it's just in my head, but that road feels a little hot. Let's find James. I think he's over by the cemetery. Found Mr. James, who's over here hanging out at the cemetery. This is called the St. Ignatius.
I can't even pronounce it.
I don't even know how to say that, but that's the name of this cemetery.
St. Ignace.
Ignace? I mean, some of these look really old. Now, we wanted to come here at nighttime, but we've never been here before. Didn't want a chance falling into a hole and getting, you know, catching on fire or something, getting burned to death. There used to be signs here. Supposedly somebody stole the sign, and it said, warning, you know, there's gases here, and, you know, injury or death can occur. So we are taking a big risk going where we're going right now.
And actually, there's a sign right there that says private property, no trespassing, which makes me think that they don't want visitors here at the cemetery, which is strange. I've never seen that inside a cemetery.
There's probably a lot of tourists that come here. Well, here's the thing. Not far from here is graffiti. You know, they started graffitiing, putting graffiti on the roads here. So they probably just want to keep people out of here, because maybe they've had some cases where people came in here and started doing graffiti on some of the headstones. I mean, I'd be pretty upset if somebody was putting graffiti on my family's headstone. Now, some of the coal fires that started coming through the surface, they say that you can tell because the trees will dry up and the vegetation around it gets pretty dry. And, you know, just kind of like how it is when things get burned. Oh no! I don't want you to die.
Give me a kiss.
Give me a kiss. It's like the yellow brick road, but with graffiti. I almost busted my butt here a minute ago, and I have pretty good shoes on. It's just slippery out. Up ahead, I found where the highway starts cracking, more than likely from the heat underneath. Now, in the wintertime, you could really see steam coming from the ground. No, I don't see any steam, but the road's pretty messed up here. More than likely there's no fire here, at least at the moment, but I don't know what would cause the road to do that. Earthquake? Oh, look at this charred up piece of... Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a fire here.
This whole area must have had a big fire. That'd be pretty dumb, though.
Yeah, it would be kind of dumb.
What is that?
Where?
Nothing.
I don't know. Looks like the back seat of a car, like a frame.
Oh yeah, maybe it is.
Ever since we got here, been feeling kind of uneasy, like kind of nauseous, have a headache. Maybe it's because the roads are all uneven. Maybe it's because I'm spiritually sensitive. And this just goes for miles. It's like just non-stop graffiti. Not sure how long this video is gonna be, but we're gonna show you around, and I'm gonna show you the only structure that wasn't demolished, which was a church here in Centralia. Now, there are a couple people living like outside. I mean, it's still considered Centralia, but all the dangerous parts, yeah, there's only one from what I heard, and it's a church. Everything around it, though, destroyed. Oh shoot, there's a car on the road. That's kind of weird. You get out the way. Oh, he was going off-roading or something. He has a four-wheeler. Okay, that's the first car I have seen here. That's insane. Sorry, got a little spooked out there for a second, because there's no traffic on this road at all. It's not even connected to a main highway. They shut down all the roads connecting to here. What the hell? I guess they're having some fun. James is back there. If you want to become a member, pretty awesome. You get some nice perks out of it. You get to watch my videos early. You get to be a part of live streams that are private, which is pretty nice. I do sometimes like call you up too on the phone, or we do Skype calls on some of those private live streams. So if you want to support my channel, please do that. Maybe you've missed out on some haunted videos because I didn't title it haunted. So make sure to go back and watch. If a video says 3 a.m. or if it's an explore video, like I doubt I even said anything about this place being haunted. Man, this just keeps going, man. There's nothing this way. We just spoke with somebody and they said that they walked for like a mile and they didn't see any of those roads that are buckled. Hope you're enjoying this adventure so far. It's pretty cool. I've never been to like a ghost town where everything was gone. I mean, there's nothing out here. Here's something you don't see every day. An earthworm on the street. It is alive. It's probably hot down there, huh, buddy? I'm sorry, man. Oh, he's alive. Just wanted to show you. We reached the end of the road. You can see how they blocked off this road. There's a major highway. Major highway. There is a major I can't talk. There's a major highway. You can see there is a highway over there that this highway connected to at one point. I want to see what this sign says right over here. Yeah, sign doesn't say anything. Just an arrow. You can see that these roads are still very much on a GPS map, but there's nothing here. I mean, there's a few cars traveling through, but if you can imagine, there's businesses and houses everywhere, and it's all gone because of the coal mine fires. James and I are soaking wet. Not far from where those coal mines are and Graffiti Street, or Graffiti Highway. Now this is pretty interesting. This is one of the closest, still to this day, standing structures that survived the coal fires, or maybe was chosen not to be demolished. This is still an active church. People still attend this. And I mean, there are some people that still live in Centralia, but this is one of the closest structures by all the fires. Now, there's speculation on, you know, like why this is still standing. Maybe it's because it's a little bit higher off the ground. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because it was a church and it's protected. There's tons of private property signs and no trespassing signs, though. It seems that this place is that important and that popular that people come visit here, maybe trespass. They probably think it's abandoned and try to get in. There's probably been some graffiti here. I'm not sure the name of this church, but I think I was told that it was a Greek church. How many people do you think attend this church?
Not many.
Maybe like 10 people. Maybe not though. I mean, maybe people from Ashland come up here. Not far from the church, I found these few homes up here. These are probably the people that attend the church.
Yeah, they said there's only like, I think 4 people living here in the city.
Oh, in the city? But there's
In Centralia.
there's 1,000. That's what I heard. Or less than 1,000.
No, there used to be 1,500 people in the 60s here.
Really?
Yeah.
So how many people total are? So I was way off there.
I was told only 4 people live in Centralia. That's what I was told by the subway guy.
The actual, like, Centralia itself.
Yeah.
So we're not in Centralia then right
I think
now.
we're just outside of it.
Yeah. Okay. So there you have it, fam. That is Centralia, Pennsylvania. Pretty interesting place, I will say that. I do encourage you, if you're anywhere nearby driving through, definitely worth checking out. I know that there's tons of videos on YouTube and people have found different things. I will say one thing that I do regret, I think it would have been really fun to go metal detecting in a ghost town. I did hear that in the middle of the woods somewhere, there are like a ton of abandoned machines. Not too sure on that. I wanted to fly my drone, but unfortunately it was raining the entire time and it got progressively worse as we left. I'm gonna go ahead and start letting you go. I do appreciate you being a part of today's adventure. Not really a haunted type video, but a cool explorer. Thank you so much for watching. If you stayed to the end of this video and you somewhat liked it, make sure to give it a kiss. You know, the like button. Kiss the like button. I'll leave a link down below to my friend James's channel. He did some more behind the scenes. He explored the cemetery a little bit more. From what I was told, there's a cross at the very back of the cemetery, and supposedly that is where the coal fires started. Not 100% on that. It's just some information that we dug up online. If you want to get to know me a little bit better, I do have another channel. Link will be down below. I gotta go for now. Before we leave, give me a gift. Peace.